Ready, play. Love 15.
Look how pretty this is. My dream style final is this woman against Emma Navarro.
Okay. So you like
just
the old school technique?
Yeah, just they're both so aesthetically pleasing.
13, 15.
A really nice service motion too. Just gets right into a perfect trophy position. It could almost be the iconography of a WTA. Their trophy position is so perfect. Both women try to use their forehands as their weapon of choice. This is Karolina's coach.
Muchova's only gotten in 2 first serves.
Juice. Advantage, Haddad Maia.
The shadow on this court isn't fully gone until about 3 o'clock every day.
Juice.
Sleepy start to this match.
Yeah, you can see on Karolina specifically high pulse. She's breathing heavy. That's always an indication of some nerves.
She allowed that. She was very nervous in her last match. You couldn't see it by her strokes.
And that is the upside when you have really clean technique, even under pressure, even with nerves, it still holds up fairly well.
That's nice. See that? I'm going to tell you a quick story about this woman.
It's interesting, right? She only has one title on tour, but she did go far in almost all of the majors. Quarterfinals. So Wimbledon was her worst result, quote unquote, because that's still a stellar result, of course. Just injury ridden. And we have another great server here in Beatriz Haddad Maia.
She's been injury-ridden as well. She had back surgery when she was 15 years old. Then she put her shoulder out, Haddad Maia, when she was 18. Surgery to fix that. She's missed a lot of time. Then she got nailed, tested positive for 2 anabolic steroids, and that took her out of the game. That was a year.
First glimpse of the touch from Muchova.
15.
So seamlessly can change from a slice to a drop shot. Undetectable. This could have just as well been a slice, so you have to protect both. But it just so happens to be a drop shot, and a very nice one at that.
So Haddad Maia was in the top 100 when she was suspended. Had to start all over again in 2020. No ranking. And her goal was to get back into the top 100. Had to start from zero, playing 25 Ks. And of course, everyone knew who she was. She's playing someone who's ranked 1,000 in the world. And that's when she realized she needed a coach. She needed a team around her. She had to organize her life, she says. After a few months, she was 400 in the world. And she got to the top 100. Haddad Maia said, let's go for 50. And then 40, and then 30. That's who she picked up when she realized she needed a coach.
Nicely done by Haddad Maia. That is her bread and butter. The wide serve opening the court. And then the forehand into the open space. A nice closing of the net. Textbook tennis here to save break point.
Advantage. Haddad Maia.
Who's hitting harder down there?
I think it's about the same right now, and it's funny because Andrea earlier mentioned the breathing, so I've been paying attention to that a little bit, and I find myself taking deep breaths because I do feel like there's a little tension at the beginning of the match, understandably so. I think both dealing with some nerves right now, trying to find their rhythm, but right now I would say very even as far as the pace off the ground.
Juice.
Yeah, you can just sense that it's not a flow of a match yet. It's chopped up, it's dicey, some nice points, and then a few loose ones from both players, and that's, of course, an indication of the nerves Jill just mentioned.
They both have to fill up their lungs, breathe deeply. None of this shallow stuff.
Take the pulse down somehow.
The number 2 seed,
Advantage.
Aryna Sabalenka, has won majors, and Iga Swiatek more than anybody left in the draw with 5, including one here a few years back. Everybody else, all the other players left in the quarters, have not won one. So of course there's going to be some tension.
And even though she missed it, that backhand slice will be so important, the down the line one, because Muchova wants Haddad Maia to lift that backhand cross court so she can use her weapon, the forehand. You could see Haddad Maia in the previous point opting for the down the line, which is a very risky shot, missed it into the net. So we will keep an eye on that backhand slice down the line by Muchova throughout the match.
Advantage.
69-year-old, 69-mile-an-hour second serve, just begging to be pounded on, huh?
Yeah, and that second serve is...
That's
it's
glaring weakness.
It's a weakness. She sometimes goes for more. That's why Muchova was waiting a bit further behind. But when she gets nervous, she just rolls it in. Another point at the net. She has 88 aces this year, but she has 130 double faults, so a lot more double faults than aces. So I think Muchova needs to force herself to try and attack those second serves.
What's a good ratio of aces to double faults? If you want to serve big, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think you can risk a few more double faults, but maybe not 50 more than aces.
Okay.
And I think if you go big on the second serve, that's a different thing, but she's not going big on the second serve. Because then you at least keep the returner at bay. They can't attack those second serves.
Here in Queens, New York, Andre, we call those second serves meatballs.
that was the first time I saw
Muchova
Muchova actually be a little bit more closer to the baseline. I think she's been hanging further back, almost waiting for a mistake from Haddad Maia. And again, I think that's just a sign of, you know, being a little uncomfortable at the beginning of this match, and still both maybe dealing with some nerves. But Andrea, like you mentioned at the beginning, already Haddad Maia, she just got broken, and she's showing herself fist pumps, trying to continue that positive energy.
Muchova dealing with the sun.
Yeah, beautifully done. And that is always
15.
a bad sign for the opponent when Muchova is comfortable on the backhand down the line, whether that is slicing or hitting, because she sets up so nicely for her weapon. When she's nervous, you can see in the beginning of the match, she was just keeping it cross court. Ominous signs for Haddad Maia here.
Tried to smile off this error.
I think she secretly blames the sun. Jill, what do you think?
Definitely.
Okay.
It is the sun's fault.
Three long. Back inside Ash, and Beatriz Haddad Maia has got to get things going here.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Players are ready.
That was a nice sneak attack. She started a few feet behind the baseline and just snuck in. We can see it here. There she is.
And putting pressure on that serve, isn't she? There comes another second. She's just barely over 53%.
And you can just see that the variety of Muchovas is getting to Haddad Maia in these beginning stages of the match, when the tension is still in the muscles, when you're not as loose yet.
And Andrea, she's lost to Muchova all 3 times they played.
Yeah, so clearly in general it's a bad matchup for her. Something she doesn't feel 100% comfortable with. So in the beginning here, it's making her really uncomfortable.
I feel like it's also a very different ball from the previous round when she played Wozniacki. She got so much more rhythm. And Muchova, almost every single ball is different. She's throwing in the slice. That last forehand had a lot more height than even in the first 3 games. So she's, you know, experiencing something that's different all the time. It's tough to get a rhythm on that.
That's 4-love.
And those are the problems that Muchova presents to you when you just want to try to find your rhythm. So you just make a ball, you roll it in. She right away goes after it, so you don't have a second to breathe. If you don't hit at full pace, you won't bother her. And if you drop anything short, she goes right after it.
It's usopen.org time. On all those platforms, you can find out what's up.
Except for on WhatsApp.
Not a lot to cheer for so far. I gotta tell you, I'm not too into this match.
It's chopped up. It's dicey. There's a few good points and then a few loose ones right after. I think the problem is that what Haddad Maia lives off of is intensity. And Muchova is doing everything she can to not get into that physical, intense battle. And she's so smart in doing that because she knows that's the only way Haddad Maia can get her. And so she's not giving Bea this kind of game right now.
How can she get Muchova in the mud?
I think she needs to find depth. I think that's the #1. If you can find depth, you can keep Muchova somewhat at bay, somewhat behind the baseline. And then use the forehand to move the ball around. If you go into the same corner twice, she will right away chop the rhythm up.
Wow. Love hold brings us to 5-love this opening set.
Well, leads by 5 games. First set.
Haddad Maia still hasn't shaken those nerves loose.
No, I don't think so. You can kind of see it in her face and in her demeanor. It's almost like she's trying to force that positive energy a little bit. She's looking over to her coaching team quite a bit and giving them what they want to see, which is that fist pump, but it's not convincing. I think she's losing a little bit of that intensity. And that has a lot to do with the fact of the nerves. You know, the first thing to go is the feet stop moving a little bit. She doesn't quite look as in position as she was in her previous rounds. She's starting to walk with a little bit more pep in her step, but it's taking time for her to feel comfortable.
That's it.
There she found much better depth. If she can just somehow discover that in her ground strokes, that would take away all these weapons that Muchova possesses in her game, or at least would just dampen them a little bit, at least.
Language, considering she was down 5-love.
Yeah, that's her biggest strength. She's always positive. Jill mentioned it earlier. Even after being broken twice, she was still fist pumping towards her box and nodding, trying to urge herself on to remain positive despite feeling uncomfortable. And that's all you can really do. That's the one thing you have control over, is your attitude and your fight. And there are no reproaches to be made towards Haddad Maia in that regard.
Love 15.
variety. She's
15.
got Haddad Maia must be thinking to herself, please, can you just hit one round ball square? In this.
15-30.
She's serving 83%. I mean, she's giving herself a look to put away the second ball. A couple of volley misses big.
And I think she should probably refrain from playing serve and volley on that side, because she does look into the sun. There's a split second when you lose the ball. So if you try to play serve and volley, that's exactly the split second you're missing. But she's still trying to chop up that rhythm. So she's a real chopper. And again, that pattern, right? The short
40-30.
backhand down the line slice. Haddad Maia has to lift the backhand cross court, and then the fast forehand. Such high tennis IQ.
Game. And first sets, Muchova.
No
Nice
real
exchange
tension in that
to
opening
one.
set. Hopefully
New
it gets better in set two. Muchova looking good.
Second set, Haddad Maia to serve.
Beatriz Haddad Maia threw in a stinker of a first set. Here's the start of the set two. Nice start, nice smile from the Brazilian. Who said from a young age she felt the pressure of back in Brazil. They wanted her to be the next Guga. The next Bueno.
15 all.
Haddad Maia just got herself pretty much entirely off of social media except for Instagram, because it was just too much for her. It was funny just now. It's almost like it looked like she's, oh, I'm in Ash Stadium. There's a lot of people watching. It was pretty empty when this match began. The fans outside probably saw how quickly this was going. And they're filling up because Jack Draper plays Alex de Minaur next on Ash.
And the one thing that is surprising to me is Haddad Maia keeps going for that not lefty serve, for that serve into Muchova's forehand, thinking that she will surprise her because Muchova is slightly covering that slice serve. But I still think she should stick with that lefty to open the court, make the ball move away from Muchova.
Haddad Maia, I think she needed that. We saw it previously a couple games ago, but that one she really let some of that tension out. We'll see if she relaxes a little bit more.
Thank you.
First time we've heard some Brazilian chants.
Here from Haddad Maia, and a glimpse of what she can do when she does get a neutral ball. This one right there can go after it right away. Did not get many of those in the first set. And remains nice and calm. Muchova showing off her defensive skills as well. Again, that T serve. I really think she should. You can see why she does it, because Muchova closes that slice serve completely with her stance, but still stick with your old faithful.
Under pressure, yeah.
Yeah.
Hit your favorite shot.
And isn't super comfortable with the slice yet. I think she's starting to find her rhythm on that. So I almost feel like she's trying to avoid the backhand for that reason as well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
This crowd. Let's get some energy going here.
15-all.
Helping Haddad Maia raise her intensity, making things more physical and just playing better tennis now. A lot more calm on her shots.
And Jill Crape is courtside. Did you hear Muchova ask for another bathroom break after this game?
I think so, yeah. I think that, and I believe it is for an equipment adjustment or a kit adjustment, from what I understand. So I believe she's probably asking how much time she had potentially for that break.
She feels like she's making real inroads early in the second. And that was makeable, that last shot of hers.
Second set.
Well, everybody is standing up about to take Muchova to the bathroom, but I think maybe she potentially has changed her mind, but everyone is on the go, ready to get out of their seat. It looks to be okay. One thing that's also changed with Haddad Maia that I noticed when she played Wozniacki is that smile. And she did smile in that first game, and that's what was able to get her through those tough moments. She had to have a few match points before she was able to close it out against Wozniacki, but she was smiling through that process. And so I'm seeing that a little bit more now.
13 love.
And a little bit more pace on her ground strokes too, right, Jill? Can you tell from where you're sitting? Is there just a bit more on it?
Definitely on that first strike, but it's also a little bit more on the serve, which is allowing her to kind of have more time step up on that first ball.
Good hold for Haddad Maia. Yeah. Quick break. Muchova back on the court, and she did it in time.
Thank you. 15 love.
Two love holes in a row.
2 games all, second set.
It is a legitimate play, going right at the person when they are rushing the net.
Were you a headhunter in your time?
I wasn't, but my head had been hunted many times.
Okay.
Because I did not know what I was doing up there.
You were the prey.
Yep.
I remember you had a pretty nice looking volley game.
Yeah, nice looking.
15 all.
The second serve is still a problem for Haddad Maia. She's serving a lot better in the second serve, winning over 50%, but in this game here, just a bit of trouble when it comes to the second serve. Muchova really going after them. Bit of an opening here for Muchova.
Soft second serves in Queens, New York.
Mid-balls?
Yes. You're getting there.
Yeah, and you can see it here. That number was actually above 60% in before this game, and now coming into this game hasn't won a point on second serve. And Muchova has come closer to the line on those second serves. 2 break points now.
up a set, up a
Thank
break
you, ladies
is
and gentlemen.
Karolina
Players are ready.
Muchova of the Czech Republic.
Love 15.
And that is the thing when you have to rush off the court for whatever reason she did. That rushing has just infected her game right now. She's rushing in the points as well. Something is definitely up right now. Keeled over, trying to bail out of points.
Well, we know she's definitely not right, but she's trying hard not to give anything away. I mean, she's not moving the same way, Muchova, off the ground. She's walking a little bit slower, trying to take those deeper breaths. So definitely not 100%, but she's not giving us an indication of what exactly it might be.
Not an easy situation for Haddad Maia either, who is trying to focus on herself but can't help probably to look over and see what's happening. You can just see some hesitation in that forehand, probably hoping for some easy misses off the other end, and that is so hard to do. To just when the other one is ailing, you just have to try and focus on the things you can control and try to continue to step on the gas pedal, even if it seems cruel in that moment.
She can hit some dazzling shots, like no-look shots.
30-40.
Gosh, she played this one. It wasn't hit strong enough or angled enough, but yeah, she does that a lot. Very cool. Set in 4-3 with the break.
Muchova leads by 4 games to 3.
Going into her menstrual cycle. And you know how usually it's easier on the second, like she's explaining her cycle to me in depth, as only Martina can do. So finally, my producers are like, get off of it. And so I throw it back to Steve Flink, Hall of Famer, and the late, great Bud Collins, another Hall of Famer. I said, all right, guys, you heard it. It just wasn't Martina's night. Period. And I'm still working. I have no idea if that's what Muchova's going, but she took some kind of tablet.
15-9. Wait, please.
She's doing a good job and trying her best, and that is all we can do as tennis players all the time on the court, just trying to control the controllables. She's just trying to keep the points short. She has the ability to do it, and she's doing, especially on the forehand side, well. 12 winners already off that wing.
Game, Muchova. Muchova leads by 5 games to 3. Second set.
on. I think I'm having it.
Now she's got to try to serve to stay into the match.
Two forehands, find the angle.
30 love.
Getting that lefty forehand working. The one that opens up the court or can pass. A great net player, as in Muchova.
Said she was a
New
fighter.
balls, please.
Yep. Her best part.
Muchova leads by
Absolutely,
5
her
games
biggest
to 4.
strength.
Second sets.
Never
and by
gives.
1.
Muchova getting to the semifinals of this tournament last year got her into the top 10. As we've mentioned, then wrist surgery took her out. Her surgeon said she probably wouldn't be back to tennis till August of this year. She came back in June, but this is only her 6th tournament.
And Haddad Maia has finally found that lefty forehand that really defines her game. Will it be too late is the question, or can she maybe still get away with it?
Syrup can get her into the semis. 2.
2 sets to love. 6-1, 6-4.
Some worrying moments for Karolina Muchova, but she got past it.
Yeah, her serve was really shining. Her serve helped her today. We saw the stat, 10% higher